The new season is underway, sports fans, and Steph Curry treated us to a fun one. But you might have missed just how profound his presence is on the court and what it can do to a not-so-good defense as played by the LA Lakers. Even though his box score numbers weren't up to his usual standards, I need to show you how profoundly he impacts the game in ways few players in history ever have. The term gravity was invented long before Curry started playing, but it's the best term to define just how dangerous he is to the entire team defense of their opponents. It's remarkable to me that in year 17, he's still moving off ball as much and as quickly as he does. They start this set out by borrowing a page from John Wooden's UCLA high post offense. Curry makes the UCLA cut off of Horford at the elbow, Horford steps out for the pass, Jimmy runs short 17 at the elbow extended, and watch this gorgeous off-ball movement. This is their WTF action they normally run for their out-of-bounds play as Steph backscreens Kuminga, but this really shapes up as a pin down for Curry to the top. Marcus Smart over pursues, however, allowing Curry to expertly read this and cut backdoor for an easy layup. Gorgeous. The collective IQ of the Warriors offense is high as they do two things to start. One, they quickly force Luka onto Steph to gain an advantage out top, but they also realize Ayton is guarding Kuminga in the corner, so Steph gets it to him to see what he can make happen. Now, Rui is guarding Draymond, so that normally means you don't need to worry about him in the slightest out on the perimeter, but not when Steph is in the area. Draymond and Steph have been together for so long that a skip to Green at the top of the key triggers blind pig action from the triangle offense. Luka was caught sleeping for a step and Rui was out of the play to begin with as Curry hops into a quick release three, perfect swish. It doesn't have to be complicated offense for him either. He gets to the corner and quickly realizes how close his man is to him despite the ball being 28 feet away. Vincent shades toward the down screen from Podziemski, so Curry instantly seizes on the advantage with the backdoor cut. Draymond has been making this pass in his sleep for over a decade, and now the Lakers have no idea how to handle Curry's movement. Now that we've established how hard it is to stop him from scoring due to his off-ball movement, let's examine how the simple fact of him being on the floor opens up easy shots for his teammates. They attack Ayton in the pick and roll, and because they're not afraid of Draymond shooting, they pursue into a double team. The special sauce is that Steph never stops moving once he gives it up. The Warriors have what we call an automatic, which is, whenever Curry is cutting from the basket to the perimeter towards you, you must set a screen for him. Gary Payton II does just that, flaring up the back of Luka as Ayton desperately wants him to switch to Curry. These two are so worried about Curry in the corner that they sell out to him when Draymond doesn't even really pass fake it there. He just holds the ball up, Ayton runs, Luka jumps, and that leaves Payton wide open on the cut to the basket for the dunk. No one zooms around the court quite like Curry does, as they start him on the right side before circling around into pistol action as they set a pin down into handoff so he can attack going downhill. This collapses four defenders into the paint immediately around him, and with Horford hiding out in the lane, Reeves needs to hover nearby in case the pass is thrown there. That means he's nowhere near his initial man in the corner who gets a wide open triple to almost end the game early. The guy to watch out for with the Warriors is Kuminga and whether he can mesh any better in their offense, and sometimes the only way to figure that out is to watch the game in person. And there's no better way to do that than with SeatGeek, the #1 rated ticket app with over 35 million downloads. The reason why I love using SeatGeek is because the variety of events to choose from is insane. Their ticket rating system tells you if you're getting a great deal, and each ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. And of course, I got a code for you guys. You can use code BBALL2025 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with promo code BBALL2025. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you, SeatGeek, and thank you, Jonathan Kuminga, for giving us some very encouraging signs during this key third quarter stretch that broke the game open. His struggles to play and mesh alongside Curry are well documented, particularly by my video I released 2 weeks ago. But if this becomes the baseline, look out. They run their patented low post split by feeding Draymond down low and then setting the elbow screen for Curry. Watch how both defenders get sucked into his vortex, allowing Kuminga to calmly step back to the open space, get the easy pass, and knock down the wide open three. Few teams can flow into different actions as well as the Warriors, and here they run that low post split again, this time with Kuminga down low, but when he opts to dribble it out, it breaks into a high post split. Look how worried Ayton is when Steph cuts by him, opening up the easy pass to the elbow. Now Kuminga sets the pin down for Curry, which turns Rui's head for a literal split second. But that's all Kuminga needed to get going. Perfect pass from Green creates a layup from the fear of Curry cutting to the ball. Here's that same play with Kuminga and Curry pairing off in the split action. The screen doesn't get Curry open for the initial shot, but they never stop moving as the ball screen gets Curry into the teeth of the defense. Draymond knows he won't be guarded out there, so he shrinks the space immediately with the middle drive of his own. Watch Steph's baseline cut somehow draw Ayton under the basket, leaving him late to contest another wide open shot for JK. The Warriors targeted Ayton all night, and it wasn't hard to set a screen with his man for Steph, force a switch, and let him cook out top. The big man didn't really have any hope of keeping Steph in front, but what is supposed to happen is that Luka stays on the block to stop a layup to Draymond, and Rui exits out to the corner. Instead, he foolishly reaches in at the ball, leaving Kuminga another wide open three ball that he calmly knocks down. And it's plays like these that give you hope that Kuminga is finally starting to figure some things out. After Curry misses the runner and Kuminga blows the tip dunk, he gets back up and rather than try to force a terrible contested midi shot in order to save face for the putback, he recognizes that he drew the help defender, quickly identified the open man, and kicked it back out so BP could do his thing to regain the lead at the end of the first half. And we saw another instance of maturity for Kuminga here. Curry setting the ball screen will definitely be a thing since teams will be scared to death of leaving him when he pops. This action got Kuminga into the lane, but rather than force up a contested shot that he so often misses, he finds the open Horford on the way down for the easy finish to extend the lead. That Curry ball screen killed the Lakers down the stretch. Just watch how his gravity takes two defenders with him, allowing Jimmy to get right to the basket and earn 2 of his 16 free throws in an embarrassing lack of defensive communication. But they can be clever about this action too. Watch how Curry comes up the ball screen, but then releases into a handoff from Jimmy instead. Now he'll draw both defenders to the three-point line, and we get more of the beautiful game as Butler has a choice when the Lakers screw up their rotations. Only Austin Reeves from the weak side should be rotating over. Since Ayton does as well, they've left a wide-open corner shooter, and as Payton cuts baseline, Rui is supposed to sink and fill to take that away. Instead, Payton puts the nail in the coffin with the layup. The Warriors are going to be a tough team to beat, so there's no shame in the Lakers losing to them early in the season. However, they do need to be concerned that they've got a player in Marcus Smart who can end up being a sideshow with all his antics out there. And I worry that his offensive production won't be enough to justify his other shenanigans if I'm being honest. Luka was amazing all night long, and Austin Reeves efficiently poured in 26 points, but I'm sensing it's just not enough when you factor in their potential for being a poor defensive team, something that the return of LeBron James won't do much to help. Luka played 23 consecutive minutes last night, and while there was a halftime in there, the 14 straight second half minutes clearly were taking a toll on him, so they'd better figure out a better rotation or run the risk of wearing him out. And if they don't make a deal to shore up the team, the Lakers won't be going very far this year anyway. But the Warriors are deep and play a brand of basketball built for the playoffs. So don't sleep on this last dance as they can compete on any given night with anyone.